Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy Sunday. Although I said yesterday we might be going to a new place today, however I completely forgot. The video that I ended yesterday was in this very spot, and I forgot to mention this is the building of the TASS agency. So what you see behind me, it's a pretty interesting building right here. This is the agency that reports the news. And right here is a very cool sitting area, right at the front of it. There is some exhibition here as well, so I will just go through some pictures to show you. You might be interested in some to see. The pictures of the events and history. And then I will be giving you some information that I came across. Right here there is more. And you have the last one. Okay, so this video will have two parts. The first one, I'm reading you what I have prepared and sharing this with you, and the second is me free-flowing with something that maybe some of you might not be interested in, because that is more, let's say, esoteric, spiritual, however you want to call it. But I think, why not? It's Sunday. We might have a little bit different video today than normally we do. And I found this very cool place to sit down, because you can actually lean on this, which is fantastic. And I will be reading you this article, big part of this article I came across, and why I decided to read it and share this topic with you, even though I am absolutely not a military expert. I don't know any of those things, but what I know, what I feel, what I sense is that they are doing everything to push Poland more and more deeper into this conflict. And why I'm saying this? Because as you see in the title of this video, this is all related to the cluster munition subject. Yesterday, as you know, or maybe you don't, well, many of you do, Biden said that the United States will provide those cluster munitions to Ukraine. You know, I say he said it, but we know it's actually, he's just the mouthpiece, barely even mouthpiece for other people. And why I'm bringing this topic on Sunday, because I didn't know this, that Poland still produces the cluster munition. And I'm not sure if it's the only country in Europe, but it's definitely the country that still produces it. And how I know it? Because I heard about it from Maciej Maciak. So I did a little research and I came across this article that gives you a little bit more details about it, why Poland still does it, and also what kind of munition is this. And just to end the topic with the factories, apparently we have two factories in Poland that are running, producing those cluster munitions. It looked like it was five. I'm not sure if all those five are doing it. It looks like two of them are at this moment still producing. One is in Kraśnik, that's the name of the city, and another in Bolechów. And those plants specialize in the production of shells for cluster munitions. So let's jump into this. I know it's annoying, but once in a while we have to put up with those, but at least I have a good place to sit. Okay, the article goes. Let's start with why Poland decided not to sign a ban on the use of cluster munitions, or more precisely, cluster bombs. Arrangements in this matter took place relatively recently in 2008, when in Dublin, Ireland, as many as 111 countries supported the ban on the use of cluster bombs. Today, it's already 123 countries, along with the US, China, Russia, Poland, China and Russia, Poland completely broke the ban. Reason: our country, this is Polish article, our country does not have nuclear weapons. Does it make sense? As usual, everything depends on the situation and the goal, because although it might seem that it is better to hit a tank with a single powerful shell, it can stop, for example, on reactive armor. On the other hand, some of the smaller bombs can damage the weapons, the systems, sensors, radar, or even the tracks of the vehicle. But this is not what cluster munitions were developed for. This one was mainly to wreak havoc over a larger area and actually hit those targets that are vulnerable to being swept by attacks. In fact, cluster munitions are one of the cheapest and easiest ways to carry out large-scale attacks over a large area, although it is far from effective in flooding an area with dozens of missiles from launchers or MIRV warheads. It can still do a lot of harm. So is that the reason why it's being banned so much? An article goes on. In a way, yes, but contrary to appearances, the reason for this is something much worse. The main aim of banning cluster munitions is to prevent situations where war zones remain dangerous long after attacks have taken place. Bomb and missile misfires happen in every conflict, and when you multiply the odds of their occurrence due to the use of cluster munitions, the risk increases dramatically. I read you a big portion of this article. This is not the whole article. I will attach it in the pinned comment section under this video and in the description box. Okay, my humble opinion here, guys. They are doing everything to use Poland in this. If US is allowing those cluster munitions to be sent to Ukraine, and Poland is the country that's producing this, this is very, very bad sign. Let me cross the street first. When I cross, I will continue. Just 1 second. So yes, Poland still produces those cluster munitions. And probably, or certainly, will be the one supplying it to Ukraine. That's what's gonna happen. That's the situation, guys. And they are using Poland again. So that's why I decided to record this, because I don't think many people know in Poland what this means, and also that we actually in Poland have the factories that produce it. You know, some experts said no, like it's Poland, it will not go into it. I think it will come to the 11th hour before Polish people will finally realize, they will wake up and they say enough of this already. And I want to talk to you now about something that many of you might completely have zero interest in, but I want to bring this up. In 1500s, there was a person who lived, and his name was Nostradamus. And now you will be like, she's crazy, she's talking about Nostradamus. Well, not necessarily, because there are many, many people who lived or still live or lived throughout the history who have seen things coming, right? Who prophesied, the seers, people with certain abilities. I believe we all have this gift, but not many people utilize it. And he was someone who predicted many things. Let's put it this way. By the way, very cool on the car, look. Tennis lovers. Very cool, huh? So he predicted many things. He predicted 9/11. he predicted the painter from Austria coming to power. Many things he predicted, okay? Many things he got wrong as well. But I remember when I came across his prophecies, would say prophecies or his visions, he said a lot about the huge problem with migration. He mentioned specifically, years, and he mentioned this year, 2023, to be a crucial year because everything will be turned upside down. And so it's happening. He talked about a lot about, he wrote about it, how many refugees and the number of migrants that will be flooding France, for example, because he lived, I'm not sure if he was born in Provence, and he lived in Provence, I think, most of his life. Saint-Rémy, I think. By the way, I love Provence. To those of you who are watching from there, I love Provence, beautiful area of France. And he talked about the Antichrist. Maybe that's why I want to talk about it, because he said that there will be 3 Antichrists in this world arising. I have my personal opinion about it, but I would like to ask you, who or what do you think is that? Because to me, it's not necessarily just the person. To me, it's an energy. It's something else. It's how they are destroying the institution of family, how they are destroying what woman is, what man is, created by God. So the ideology, to me, the values are the Antichrist. And yes, there are people who can be called that name as well. But I would like to ask you this. I know it's a very strange question maybe from me on this Sunday, but it looks like a lot of his prophecies are coming to fruition, and he actually prophesied about the war that will take over the world. So them sending those cluster munitions, it's really not a good sign at this moment. But this is not about to terrify you, it's to bring to your awareness, if people still don't see how they are trying to use Poland in every possible way they can, then maybe start to realize it. He actually also talked about the civil war in United States. I still believe it might not happen, but looking at how the tensions are rising in the US as well, how this election now and next year will even look like, this will be unlike anything we've ever seen before, right, in our lives. Who's gonna run this election? Like those globalists say, will it be AI? How are they gonna do it now? So guys, leave the comments down below, your thoughts, your reflections, what do you think? I know some of you will be like, who is she talking about, why she's talking about it? Because you know what, many people who lived or still live, especially someone who lived how many hundreds of years ago, who was able to see certain things. And yes, he got a lot of things wrong, but maybe it's good to revisit those visions of some saints and some other people, because they could be taken also as a warning for humanity. It's not written in stone, nothing is. There is the saying that if you want to know what is the future, create it. So we can create this future in a different way, that it has been prophesied, right, by many. But to end this video with something else, I want to say, I was actually thinking about it, and I believe that some people still want like things to go back to normal, but we forgot that that normal was never really fully normal. It was an illusion we were living in. It wasn't, it was slavery just covered up. So maybe the only way to really come out of it is to completely smash those systems, but still being able to prevent something that has true value, not their values, true value and life-giving energy. Maybe that's the only way. So you have to bring those systems down and not replace it with what they want, but replace it with something that is created by God. It gives life and light and love to this world. So these are my last words. It's a very strange video. I hope you're still with me here, but it's Sunday, so you know, that's the vibe. Leave the comments. What do you think? What or who is Antichrist? And do you see how they are using Poland? Lots of love, everyone. Make sure to join me on Locals. Follow me on Instagram, because on Instagram you can see the images and the videos unlike anywhere else on other platform that I have. It's just exclusive for Instagram. Ania K _44, and also join my mailing list. You can as well follow me on Rumble, and I see you in the next one. Bye everyone.